Okay, let's quickly check the sound. What is the sound doing? Come on. Don't be slow. Okay, let's quick. Alright, the sound is working fine, so we can start. My name is Hightech for those that still don't know. And on these live streams, I talk about what just happened today in the cryptocurrency market, what do I think about it, regarding 11 years of my experience, and I'll explain also what Hightech is and why you might be interested in it. Jesus is king, and let's go. Okay, so yeah, I wanted to discuss one thing because I don't think I tackled on it well enough on my last live stream. I was talking about Kevin Svensson and what is his take on all of this, crypto market situation. So we will be analyzing it a little bit more in depth, what he actually said and what he pointed at. I think it's definitely worth of our time. Same with Meet Kevin, because Meet Kevin also has committed. Actually, it's the opposite. This one is Kevin Svensson. This one is Meet Kevin. Both of them pointed at very, very interesting things surrounding global finance in general. Oh, I see. At least connection is stable now, because before it wasn't that stable really. On my last live stream, I was a little bit resentful with my ISP, but apparently now it looks. Oh, now it goes well. So yeah, S&P 500 today is having not the best of days. Yeah, it actually closed in red, right? Yeah, apparently. So initially it started somewhat okay. I mean, okay, not really, because the opening was lower than Monday close. Then we went down, we recovered, and for quite some time, as you see, this daily was green, and then we finished pushing it back into red. So yeah, it could be better. It wasn't the worst, but it could be better. But in this shape, to be honest, I'm sorry. I'm sorry very much. I'm so sorry. But to be honest, yeah, with this shape of this daily candle, I think we could expect some further selling. To be honest, because it looks like it, whatever boost stepped in today, they were not able to completely cancel out the selling pressure. Let's take a look at it through Heiken-Ashi candles. Yeah. So now we have a visible M formation here that could give us a little bit more of downward inertia here. Maybe not that low. I think we could come down to like 6,500 more or less. I think it should not be surprising if that happens throughout the rest of this week. But on Bitcoin, on the other hand, okay, well, Heiken-Ashi is red, but normal candles, I think it's green. Yeah, normal candles had actually closed green Tuesday, and this one looks like it could be the bottom of this move. I mean, we still are somewhat dependent for most of the time from what the S&P is actually doing. If S&P stays bearish, then that increases probabilities. It will drag us with it. But at times we decorrelate. So who knows? Maybe it's going to be one of those. Hopefully. Hopefully. So far, the Bitcoin dominance is giving us more and more good signs, because as you see here, Tuesday was beautiful, absolutely beautiful for those betting on Bitcoin dominance going down. I belong to that circle. I belong to that club. And if I'm right, if Kevin Svensson is right, then this thing should completely plummet within let's say 3 weeks at most. It should be reduced to ashes. And what am I saying that? Well, I mean, me myself, I base my opinion on the charts and on understanding of market mechanics, on recent events, which were one of the most one of the one of the most interesting in the history of altcoin market. I mean, of course, here I'm mainly thinking about October 10th, biggest sell-off ever in this market. And altcoins never have seen a sell-off of that size, that big, that deep. And shortly after, we actually are continuing with selling pressure, but holding fairly well, holding on fairly well in the upper zone of the support band. So to me, that's a clear sign of strength, not a sign of weakness. But Kevin Svensson is pointing out one very important thing. Of course, I know about for quite a while already, but it's something from outside of the chart that definitely can impact how the things are shaping here, and that is already announced QE starting from 1st of December. Fed Agency of Federal Reserve Agency already announced that 1st of December they are starting QE, so quantitative easing, right? Meaning that it should be like the same week, statistically speaking, literally the same very week that should give birth to the altcoin season, the one that all of us are waiting for. So that's definitely nothing to ignore. Why? Because every single time up until now, every single time Federal Reserve Agency, whenever they started QE, the same week altcoin season kicked off throughout the history of this market. And now, given how oversold we are, the October 10th, biggest black swan event of the space ever, now we are continuing with selling pressure. People are super bitter, pessimistic, but we can obviously check, judging by crypto fear and greed index, wherever we look at it, alternative.me, on CoinMarketCap, extreme fear, levels of extreme fear. So looks like we are getting a scenario for a perfect storm, absolutely perfect storm. Because as I tend to say, bulls hate to be ridden. They want to sideline as many people as possible. Only then they really start to run, and they do runs. And looks like this is literally it. This is literally it. People will stay sidelined because whole year they've been losing money. When we switch over, for example, to other chart here, whole year they've been losing money. And on top of that, I don't really think we will recover this yearly red candle still this month. It will be, statistically speaking, it will be good if it stays red. Although I think at the beginning of December we should start to notice that something has changed, that this market is really about to do something. So probably this yearly red candle will shrink significantly. And if that's the case, then the next year should be very, very bullish, because as you see here, we have that series of green candles, and then it ends with one red candle. So, for example, here series. Can we can we call two a series? No, not really. It's a couple, right? But okay, so we have two or three green candles followed by a red candle, and then followed by another two or three green candles. So if this, statistically speaking, if this one closes red, then that means we are up for next 2 years of a bullish price action. So that's definitely something to eagerly wait for. Apparently, all of the landscape is shaping exactly for that scenario. And it could be also other way around, because as you see here, for example, we had two yearly green candles, and then the third one was absolutely crazy, the most explosive out of the whole trio. So here, if we want to, let's say, translate it to current situation, if the third candle will be same as tall, comparatively speaking, as this one against prior to, then I don't know how high this market will grow in that case. But it will have to be absolutely monstrous. Because okay, let's try to calculate. This one is 300%. This one is only 300. Okay, so it's like 407. So twice as big. At least the candle body must be twice as big, over twice as big as the second one. The third one must be, the candle body must be at least twice as large as the prior candle. That's interesting. So here it was plus 57%, plus 100. Okay, let's take a look from here. At least here. So at least to vicinity of $700 billion. Interesting. That literally means most of small caps and the micro caps will experience thousands of percents up. So yeah, I think that's the place to be. That's the place to be in small caps and micro caps listed on tier 1 exchanges. Should be allocated there. Another place to be, of course, is high-tech meme coin, the only one I promote here. I think this one gives you literally the best win-lose ratio on the whole of internet. I pasted it in the live chat for those that haven't noticed. So you can enter Radium DEX through this link, and it will literally give you straight away a high tech against USDT, and you can purchase it right there. And since this is the only project I promote on all of my social media, it translates indirectly into kind of my stock market, the stock market of my social media. So let's say judging it from that perspective is actually quite interesting. I imagine it should be somewhat interesting. So yeah. Now I start to think that maybe, just maybe, this morning I had a little bit of problems with live stream because there was some kind of outage, global outage of internet. I learned about like literally, I don't know, 1 hour ago. What was really surprising to me, because most of the time on my end, everything was working fine. I mean, only the last live stream was a little bit sluggish, but it still was getting through. So let's discuss a little bit in detail, more in detail, what Kevin said in his Kevin Svensson said in his last material, which I consider to be quite interesting. So he pointed out a couple of things. One of them, of course, that December 1st, Federal Reserve will start QE. That's hugely important. Another one is what I've been talking about for quite a long time already. That what I'm noticing that markets never start a bear market with sentiment that bad. Even though Alessio Rastani, um, recorded in material that at his end, TradFi folks are not as bearish, are actually fairly optimistic, and that is why he thinks we can see a double-digit correction on S&P. And now when I look at S&P 500, yeah, it looks like it has a downward inertia, right? Like for example, when we look at SPYX here, it looks like and as you see right now, we are following lower. So maybe, just maybe, TradFi will see a further downside, but that does not have to translate on the crypto market. Like I said, from time to time we get those moments of decorrelation. So I think it would make perfect sense to have it this week. He admits that Bitcoin looks actually bearish, kind of bearish, and I must tell you that just today on my algorithm, when I turn everything on and I have full view, I indeed also see that with the day of today, we are trying to get into a bearish territory. You know what? Let's take a look. Let's take a look at BTC USDT or BTC USD on Bitstamp, because Bitstamp has the oldest chart, and let's take a look at that yearly statistic of statistic of yearly candles. Okay, so here first cycle was two yearly green candles and then a red one. Second was 3 yearly green candles and a red one, and third was three yearly green candles and a red one. And right now we have only 2 yearly green candles and a red one. But this red one, as you see, is not that far from flipping green. So yeah, my assumption is that Bitcoin will continue with a positive momentum. QE starting on 1st of December should happen. And but if we close like this, I mean, maybe it's actually maybe that will be better for Bitcoin to close like this, because that would reset the chart and that would increase the probability of Bitcoin, going higher, judging by what this chart is demonstrating here. Yeah, I think that will be better. Same for altcoins. If we finalize this year with red yearly candle, that should reset expectations and give us quite a lot of fuel to fill up, right? To fill up those expectations of the next 2 bullish years. Interesting, very interesting. For whatever reason, I don't get views here. That's weird. There is average view duration 19 minutes 31 seconds and 0 views. How am I getting the average view duration that long if there is 0 views? This is something stupid. Maybe YouTube is having a little bit of troubles with with the stats working here. And even here, I get, you see, I get a view, a view, a view, and the counter just doesn't work. Stupid. Okay, whatever. And what about Rumble? Rumble Studio, actually. So here we are live streaming to multiple platforms at once, as you see. So yeah, that's interesting. That's very interesting, actually. Yeah, so now I'm hoping for this year to actually stay like this. On others, fortunately, we have much more space, so we can see a little bit of growth starting on 1st of December, and we probably will not flip it green anyway, because minus 30%, so that means there is like 42 or something. This chart has to make over 40% in order to flip it green, so that's some work to do. And usually, when we flip from bear to bull, it's not as sudden. It starts from a very, very mild, uptick, and then slowly but firmly it goes into the parabolic phase. So on this chart we may not get green candle for this year, which is good, which is good because that resets the expectation of the next candle to be red. Cool. Okay, let's go over maybe to Bitcoin chart, back again on Binance, so the one I prefer. Because why not? And let's go back to what Kevin Svensson has been talking about here. So Cortez, this cycle is weird and different. Kevin's main point is that this cycle is breaking historical patterns. I pointed out from the very beginning, since I started live streaming, I kept teaching you guys every single cycle is a little bit different. Every single cycle takes something away from the previous one, and it slowly but firmly transforms into a completely different thing. And even this cycle, like literally straight out of the box, it showed us it's going to be different because we had all-time high before the halving, right? So that was a statement literally by the main gate, before we entered. What else? The huge anomaly altcoins never got their run. Yeah, that is why I respect Kevin, because he sees it, right? He can look at other charts, or total three chart, total two, total three, and have that realization that as a matter of a fact, altcoins did not run. There was a handful of coins, large caps, that had their bull run. All of the rest did literally nothing. So, huge kudos to him for that, because that's not what all of let's say market analysts can see. So that means, and he also points to the altcoin bear market that has been lasting for 4 years. And that's a fact. The altcoin market has been in a bear market for 4 years, and as of now, it coincides with when QT started, the quantitative tightening, and we literally have been in quantitative tightening for 4 years. Now it's about to end December 1st. So statistically speaking, we should start the altcoin season on December 1st. The real reason altcoins died, Federal Reserve quantitative tightening, so literally what I just said. Kevin's conclusion, altcoins have been in a 4-year bear market, while Bitcoin was in a bull market purely because of QT pressure on risk assets. the removal of that pressure could flip the script. I think it will. With the altcoin market this oversold, with QE narrative alone, I think that the mix is amazingly powerful. The recipe is absolute fire. Sentiment versus price disconnect. Everyone on social media is calling the cycle top with 100% certainty. Something Kevin says has literally never happened before at a really top. Yeah, exactly. I even so I even have seen just like literally 30 minutes ago a material of one crypto folk and from his YouTube channel, and he said he never seen a bubble bursting while it was deflated, right? A bubble needs to be inflated in order to burst, right? And since we go to yearly candle and it's red, it's literally red. We are just about to close the year, and there was no growth this year. So how can we be talking about the bubble bursting, right? So I thought it is actually kind of um, accurate point that he made here, and it makes a whole lot of sense. So yeah, bottom line from Kevin, this is the most depressed and sadly bearish I've ever seen in the crypto community. That usually doesn't happen at real cycle tops. Bitcoin looks done with its bull phase, but altcoins have been artificially suppressed for 4 years by QT. Yeah, they do behave like they're artificially suppressed. The kind of underperformance altcoins have seen it was something really weird, and I've been in this for 11 years. I've been trading shat loads of altcoins with my trading systems, and the difficulty level this market has been giving for the last 4 years was through the roof, absolutely through the roof, like literally nightmare level of difficulty. I mean, me, I'm still surviving, but my trading system is, I believe, the best in the world, like literally the best in the world for spot trading, and it still was somewhat struggling in those conditions. But yeah, everything is pointing to that time, coming to an end. And yeah, we can shake hands with Kevin Svensson here, no doubt. And another Kevin, which is Meet Kevin, he has pointed out something also very interesting that, I mean, out of all of this material, there is only one thing that nailed my attention. Because, now it's a very popular belief, and it's, to be honest, I think there is a lot to it, that AI companies are actually holding together the global economy, right? Because the biggest companies in the world are heavily involved in AI, and other sectors are invested in AI. So once AI narrative, falls apart, that we are pretty much in a depression, not even in a recession. Like we are literally entering a depression worldwide. So that wouldn't be nice. And here he points out that so far, what is it? AI spending is still tiny, only 1 to 2.5 of GDP. So um, that probably refers to United States versus historical bubbles that went to 5% plus of GDP. So he points out that probably the AI bubble has still a lot of room to go, because usually whenever whenever a sector in US was in a huge bubble, it was reaching 5% of GDP, and as of now, all of the AI companies are engaging in between 1 and 2.5, and that makes a lot of sense because there is a lot of use cases for AI. Me, I use AI extensively. Program with AI. I engage AI for doing the work for me with Python scripts and that type of tools. It's immensely useful, and average Joe doesn't really know yet how to engage AI in their work. They use it at a very basic level, just as a tool for chatting and maybe research, and that's it. Meanwhile, AI has capability of literally doing the work for you if you know how to surround it with the right scripts on your personal computer. And I think because let's say the tool set for average Joe has the right tool set for average Joe to actually use it like that has not emerged. Yeah, probably it's still not over yet. And when you look at the sheer numbers here, it just makes sense. I mean, from my perspective, as a power user of AI, it makes a perfect sense that we are not in a bubble yet. We are not really. I mean, AI is such a game changer. It has so many use cases. Medicine, engineering, research, of whatever, marketing. That is really, really difficult to predict at what point, what level is actually a bubble for it. What territory the territory is a bubble territory. So yeah, so that's of course good news for crypto because once the global economy goes into not even a recession but a depression, then crypto will definitely not perform well. So apparently, yeah, it's not going to happen anytime soon. I think it's still we are still far away from it. Uh, QE is just about to start in 11 days. I think the market should start to react to it literally, literally. I don't know, starting from today, starting from tomorrow. Maybe listen. Maybe the all of this green we see on crypto bubbles right here is already market that starts to react to QE that is about to happen within 2 weeks. If I have to bet my money on it, I say, yeah, that's literally it. So yeah. Oh yeah, so that's it for today. Oh, and don't forget about high tech. I think this is literally one of the best trades on the whole of internet. This is the only project I promote. I'm still very tiny with my social media. Um, my Polish YouTube channel is doing really, really well. Sometime soon, this one will start to perform too. And then you will see like this chart catches up aggressively to how my popularity grows. That much I can guarantee. I'm 100% sure what is going to happen. The math here is very simple, and just be here before everybody else comes. Everybody else come. That's all of the secret when it comes to investing. Just buy before everybody else. Simple as that. I give you opportunity, you make use of it. Good, you ignore it. I'll be telling you later on. I told you so. So yeah, yeah. That's it. That's it for now, guys. I see you sometime.